Hi everybody and welcome to my video. My name is Liz and today I'm going to be talking about the new South Carolina digital literacy and computer science standards, including kind of what they are, some examples, and how they affect our education. So first, let's start out with what they are and what they represent. So updated in the summer of 2017, the South Carolina Department of Education created an updated list of guidelines of digital literacy for K through 8 education. And the purpose of this document stated in the document was this quote that I have here on the screen. So, South Carolina Computer Science and Digital Literacy Standards was developed to expand availability of computer science education to all students in South Carolina in response to the growing number of employment opportunities related to the field of computer science and related areas available in our state. So these guidelines, really are for the betterment of the state and the betterment of the children going through schools, just to make sure they're better prepared for kind of what the world has become and how technology has been advancing. So, what is digital literacy? Digital literacy is having a sufficient knowledge of having the ability to use digital tools effectively, evaluating, creating, and communicating digitally, and using cognitive and technology skills cohesively to provide richer content. So, why is this important? So, as I said, we live in a world that is changing every day with new technology. And for example, new jobs have been changing to more computer systems, meaning software analysts, algorithm specialists, and network security specialists are all becoming in a higher demand. So, like I said, this kind of affects jobs and career characteristics, social interactions for sure, with all the social media out there, and then efficiency in the workplace and network security. And then for students, these skills help enhance their education by enhancing their functional skills, their collaboration skills, their critical thinking, their ability to find and select information, e-safety, and then also for teachers, it's a little bit different, but as a teacher, it helps them gain more resources, helps them in collaboration as well, and helps them in activities and follow their ISTE standards. So ISTE standards for teachers involve a lot of different things to kind of help teachers be more effective by designing, implementing, and assessing learning experience to engage students and improve their learning. So let's click on this link. There we go. So the 5 main goals of the ISTE standards for teachers include facilitating and inspiring student learning and creativity. So really this just means being engaging and supportive while students explore this new innovative ideas. And then second would be this one down here, design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. So this helps hold teachers accountable for the resources that they use in the classroom and make sure that they themselves are using the more advanced digital technology that of the time and kind of help keep them in check for being up to date as well. Then over here, this third one, this makes sure that teachers have a sense of fluency in the tools that they're using. So just like being fluent in any other language, you can also be fluent in digital technology and digital literacy. So make sure they're modeling digital age work and learning. So then number 4 over here. Number 4, promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. So this means being an advocate for creating digital classroom and while also modeling their fluency in digital etiquette, so making sure they're doing the right thing with their digital life as well. So then finally, this 5th one, engage in professional growth and leadership. So this makes sure that teachers are working to improve their personal growth by demonstrating leadership and understanding for future practices. So let's hop back over here to this presentation. So the ISTE standards versus digital literacy standards. So these kind of work hand in hand to assure the accountability of future digital citizenship. So ISTE standards hold teachers accountable for creating the environment needed for students to succeed, along with assuring their knowledge of material, while digital literacy standards create a qualitative goal. So that's my main point there, is that digital literacy kind of creates a more qualitative goal for the students and teachers by the end of the year, and they do vary kind of by state, considering we are talking about the South Carolina digital literacy and computer science standards right here, but they also vary by age and grade. So I've listed some highlights of the two grades I have chosen. So I have second grade over here. So in second grade, they are responsible as students to be able to create text documents using different word processing systems, whether that be Pages or Microsoft Word, whichever. And then also learning the fundamentals of digital citizenship and the appropriate use of the internet and all digital devices. So then they also need to exhibit responsibility with devices and demonstrate effective keyboarding skills. And then, as you can see, this is very different from what we have over here as 8th graders. So as 8th graders, they should be able to use software applications to collaborate and create authentic products. They need to be able to understand risk and responsibilities of being a digital citizen and understand issues associated with appropriate use of personal digital information. So that one, they need to understand what are some of the consequences of being on the internet and how that can turn into a negative situation. And then finally, they need to demonstrate keyboarding speed and accuracy. So they just need to be able to, I guess, type in a faster way, etc. So as you can see, as they get older, students become more responsible for understanding digital safety and accuracy on their journey to becoming a digital citizen. Then I will click on this link here, which will take us to the standards. So this is the document given by South Carolina Department of Education. And so I'm going to scroll down here to the second graders. That's kindergarten. So here's second graders. So a list of standards I'm going off of kind of start right here with standard 1. Then you'll be able to use software applications to create an authentic product, and then it kind of goes on. And as you can see, there's a lot of different objects or different categories there, I guess. So let's scroll down to 8th grade. And as you go through the grades, you see that the standards do get a lot longer, which makes sense because they're getting older, they're getting more knowledgeable about the subject of digital literacy, etc. So as I was talking about the categories, you can kind of see here how they have computer systems. So this kind of goes on with how they use the computers, and into my next topic. So computational thinking. What is computational thinking? So some basic, I'll say the definition first. Computational thinking is defined as a problem-solving process that includes decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and algorithm design. So some basic concepts include breaking a problem into parts or steps, recognizing and finding patterns or trends, developing instructions to solve a problem or steps for a task, and then generalize patterns and trends into rules, principles, or insights. So I have a couple of examples to kind of help us understand this a little bit better. So the first example I have here includes my favorite poem of all time, Nothing Gold Can Stay by Robert Frost. But when initially hearing computational thinking, we tend to only think about computers, math, science, etc. But this example that I'm giving right now is an example of how this thinking can be used in literature. So with a poem like this one that I have here, we can break it apart to help identify the meter, the imagery, the tone, the rhyme, everything in that poem. So it can kind of be broken apart here, how you see gold, let me go back here. Gold, hold, flower, hour, leaf, grief, day, stay. So I'm kind of breaking it up in between the two lines at a time. So that helps us see the rhyme and the meter of the poem. So like I said, this is just kind of a little twist of what you kind of see normally. So let's go on to my second example, which is computational thinking in mathematics. So this one includes identifying properties of mathematics. So I have this example here. So you need to be able to recognize the pattern of what the apple means, what the grape means, what the banana means, and then from that knowledge, you should be able to solve. And so by that, then the end of the equation through computational thinking we would see is 25. So how does computational thinking correlate with the ISTE standards that we were talking about earlier? So as a reminder, the ISTE standards are the guidelines for teachers and students being effective digital literacy educators and students. So this idea goes hand in hand with providing the means for computational thinking. So in the second standard of ISTE guidelines for teachers, it says design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. So this means providing learning activities that enhance their cognitive knowledge and cognitive thinking, including that computational thinking. So as I said, breaking apart things part by part and helping them figure out the answers to their problems themselves. So then secondly, I have the students' form of ISTE standards, which includes standard number 5, which is, in fact, computational thinker. So students develop and employ strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways that leverage the power of technological methods to develop and test solutions. So South Carolina computer science and digital literacy standards do, in fact, talk about computational thinking and standards. So back to that second grade example, classify computing devices by purpose, organize data using object graphs, etc., as I've listed, kind of helps you understand how those standards are used in second grade versus over in 8th grade, where it gets a little bit more advanced when they are to know a little bit more in depth of these problem-solving functions, including different algorithms, etc. So what are the big ideas? The big ideas are to make sure that you understand the South Carolina Department of Education digital literacy and computational thinking standards, what digital literacy is, and be aware of ISTE standards for teachers and students, along with know what computational thinking in a classroom might look like. So thanks for listening, and I hope I kind of enlightened a little bit of what this subject is and helped you out.